Alright, I think it's all working. Hello everyone. Welcome to another hobby hangout. We're still smashing through these grots. Just double checking all the stuff is working. Hoping you're all having a lovely day. And yeah, very much I am one happy man. I lied, it wasn't coffee, I grabbed a cup of tea instead. Alrighty, just give me one sec, sorting out the rest of this jazz. For some reason. Alright, I need to find some dry bark before we get rambling down the rabbit hole. That is the luminary. Oh, hey DC, lovely to see you again, mate. Well, we're doing a hobby hangout and we're about to get all the hype. I am in such a hobby mood after seeing those reveals today. It sucks for me, they were like 3 o'clock right when I just had to start work. Well, I have to head off to work, so I was like frantically trying to change the Facebook group name because obviously it was Light Elves and all that sort of stuff, and oh dear, and then just all night at work, it's just like Lumineth are coming. I'm really excited for them. Don't know if I made that obvious on all the Facebook groups on how excited I am for the Lumineth. So, hope everyone is doing well. And if you're doing any hobby, let me know what you've been doing and what you're up to. Oh yeah, married man. Yeah, you would. Last time you would have been on, I wouldn't have actually been married, would you? Let's take that off before we, get paint on it, because then I'm a dead man. And so we're just smashing through these grots. Getting all the brown done. So like the last part. But what did you guys think of the reveals at LVO? And don't just limit it to Lumineth, there was plenty revealed. I thought there was quite a lot of cool stuff revealed actually, across all game systems. So what were people's thoughts? Hit me with your initial thoughts. Yeah, and it can be thoughts about any of the stuff. What did you guys think about all of it? Because I am really excited about lots of different things. Oh, nice. Which else? I'm assuming it was like you were saying like Marathi was one of your paint pieces, if I remember correctly. Marek Wolf, not your cup of tea, Marek. And like it's fine to dislike them. I was quite happy with them. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like other stuff besides like Major AOS Mordaka, that Underworld's Warband was really cool. I was actually really excited to see Blackstone Fortress get a Zote. I've been joking about Zotes with my mates for a while. Yeah, from what I got, people on the inside of the seminar have said to me. Oh, okay. I completely missed what you were pissed at, Marek. I judged the other side. Apologies. Of course, you were talking about Seraphon the other day. Should have known what you were talking about. Yeah, from what I've got from people on the inside, Seraphon, it is just the terrain piece and battle tome that we're in the seminar asking Q&A. I think a lot of people were like spouting stuff about how the Seraphon are going to get that big release. It's like the Bone Reapers on how like people were talking about how they were the Bone Reapers and how they were like new Tomb Kings, and all the Tomb King players got really excited because they thought their Tomb Kings were going to come back, and then they were nothing like Tomb Kings. I think some rumours are just spawned by someone saying something. It sucks a little bit. I will say they probably have the coolest terrain piece in existence now. That thing is amazing. They do need new minis. Like, I won't disagree with you there, Marek. I completely agree with you on that end. At least they are updated. Take the small win there, and at least you got a terrain piece. You got something. I know it's not a lot. And I know how that feels, believe me, coming from a Cities player. All I got was endless spells. I class endless spells because I never used all the endless spells I use now without my Cities. And I probably never would without the Cities tome, so I do count Cities as getting endless spells. I think that's fair. The only army to truly get nothing was Oryx. But yeah, alright, well we'll touch on the big story first. So, Lumineth Realm Masters. So, they're the big topic to talk about. Each to their own, man. So we'll chat about the Lumineth first, because I think like that's the big topic to sort of talk about, isn't it? So, what do I think of them? Well, I'm quite happy with the Lumineth, I think, and especially Techless. I'm a really big fan of that Techless model. I love everything about it. It just gives off some like enlightened sort of being presence. It's not like all powerful his presence. His presence is I am all knowing that he gives off. I'm really interested in that beast too because he's not writing it, and the way they like wrote that piece sounds as like it's some sort of equal to him almost. Much in the same way, I guess, that like Dracothian is to Sigmar. Like it sounds like there's more than just a mount, sort of a master and mount. I mean, Techless did get swole because considering in fantasy he was a toughness 2 elf that was so frail because of all his brother got all the power, or all the physical power. I am sort of glad they stayed away from like the whole swishes and stuff, because then it would have just been a Eidolon Mark II. The spearmen are just that sort of image you get from Techless isn't like he's not going to destroy you, it's that he already knows everything about that battle that's happening. He at least you can't possibly outthink of the equations that like he's put together in his mind or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, he was not a healthy person. So the fact that he no longer has to drink potions to stay alive, he got immensely powerful. He was just a really good wizard. In fantasy, but he was like a cripple. So yeah, I really like the spearmen. I think the spearmen are what sold me on them. Like the first, and I think that was like the best thing of just like put them first. Like they were really, really good. Some of the horses do look a bit awkward. I'll give that one to people who are saying that. I'm really happy that it's just horses though. No, it's nice to see just horses. Yeah, very much akin to like Ivar the Boneless is like sort of the idea, and then you can actually like relate him like a lot to that, because then like you would say that like Tyrion was Bjorn Ironside. Like, yeah, that's actually a really good like likeness there. I like that. Yeah, well, I think I pretty much assumed that when we saw those plumes on the as the rumor engine, that was exactly who they were for. Was the light elves. Oh, and yes, hello, 30 seconds remaining. Nice to see you, mate. I'm currently smashing my way through a grot army. So this is all the grots I've got to do. But yeah, I think those Lumineth are like really cool, and I will be going so hard in on them. So cool thing with the Seraphon though, we'll be seeing some Seraphon on the channel quite a bit. I've managed to get my cousin to finally jump over from. He had an old fantasy army, and now he's getting on board for AOS, and he'll be helping out with the channel a lot more. So we're going to see, going to help him get his stuff painted up and bases swapped over and stuff like that. So you're going to see some Seraphon on the channel a lot. Obviously in like the narrative battle reports that we plan to do and stuff like that, but you'll get to see Seraphon on the channel a bit. Which is cool. It's one of the few armies I don't own a lot of, and so he's going to be taking the reins of the Seraphon for me and using them on my channel a heap. So yeah, we'll see Seraphon. So I want to grab that terrain piece just because it's cool. Yeah, so on the Seraphon thing, like, yeah, that Seraphon art is probably some of the best art they've done lately on a Battle Tome cover. So it wasn't nothing about the Zinch and KO ones was really like outstanding on the cover art. Like on the cover art, let's be specific about what I'm talking here. The cover art for the KO and the Zinch was okay. But yeah, the Seraphon one is one of the best ones they've done in a long time. I think the whole like colouring and like the way they've just put it's really, really cool. Can't actually remember like one in recent memory that I liked more. Because I didn't think much of the Bone Reapers one. put arguably my least favourite Bone Reaper models on the front cover of Bone Reapers. Ogre Moor Tribes. Yeah, no, I wasn't a big fan of the Ogre cover. Cities. Cities was cool. It was probably the last one I liked a lot, but I think that's a bit biased coming out there. Oryx I wasn't that big a fan of. Oh, cool. Starting your KO. Yeah, you were talking about that. So you got your Aether Wars half, that's great. Do have an Aether Wars KO army. I finished the 20 Arcanauts I was smashing my way through. So they're done. Just need a bit of a break from KO. I don't actually own a full, like, a good 2,000 point army of KO. So I just wanted, because I've got some stuff to do for the channel, and I've got terrain to paint for SAGT that I've offered to do. I want to make sure I have an army painted up, and a new army. So my Scourge Privateers are just outdated now. I need to update that a lot. And so I just decided, well, I'm going to try Gloomspite and try Endless Spells, and I'm going to paint up this army quickly, and that way I've got an army done to play at SAGT if I don't get a pick. Andrew Peck has to see you, mate. They should be up on the Sinful Gaming Facebook page. You should be able to find one recently of the Arcanauts. I don't have one on the computer, unfortunately. But yeah, you should be able to find one. Find some stuff up there. So I finished my 20 Arcanauts. Done up in Barrack Zon, because it was a cooler scheme. Just double checking all my goddamn notifications. Just improving some people into the Luminetti group, because otherwise it stacks up. Sorry about that. Yeah, if I don't allow people in the group, it stacks up. I finished work and there was 200 people waiting for acceptance into the Luminetti group. Sorry guys, I do have a life outside of this. Despite what some people on certain posts I've put up today were thinking, I do not get paid in any way by Games Workshop. So, anyway, back on topic. The Seraphon stuff. While it's a bit disappointing to see new models, there were never any rumours to say there was new models coming. So, I didn't really hold out hope for much. It's nice to see a terrain piece. It's pretty cool. I'm quite happy with that. On the note mentioned above, Underworld, that Warcry warband, not Warcry, that Underworld's warband is a thing of beauty. I love that warband so much. It's just something, it just looks so cool. Like Black Kings are one of those most amazing models they've ever made, I think. Like one of the best kits they've ever made, to be honest. I'm potentially thinking of getting like a Black King army, because I painted 5 Warhammer Quest. And then at the time they just, like, the whole -1s ruined their stuff and all that sort of stuff. But now that they're unmodified 6s, I'm interested in potentially exploring a full Black King army, which which would be cool. Yeah. Nurgle finally got a troll hack. So, what about any of the 40k stuff? I'm not much up to date with 40k, so if anyone here is, I'd like to hear your thoughts. There are two things 40k that I'm excited about. One is the Zote for Warhammer Quest. Ah, yeah, I did see the play cat. That was cool. 40k, obviously, like the Zotes are really cool. I like Warhammer Quest. We were talking about that on. Me and the wife will be playing that at some point. And as part of our board game things we want to do. Oh, nice, more darkness. Moving over to Nurgle. Good friend of mine has actually a couple of friends of mine have big Nurgle armies. Nurgle just seems to be very popular. A god. Yeah, I've already seen one of the admins I have for the City of Sigma page, Ricky Smith, is already going and just slavering over the AdMech stuff for his City of Midnight, of which if you haven't seen, go check out Ricky Smith and his City of Midnight stuff. It's utterly amazing. Oh, nice. I don't mind Primaris. I've got a Primaris army down there, actually, that needs to get painted. I think the way my mate worked it out, I need a couple of things to make it 1,000 points, and I'm probably going to do another one of the 12-hour painting challenges on the Primaris army. I've got a few ideas of colour schemes, but I'm not sure what to go with, so I might put up a poll between my two favourite colour schemes that I knock it down to, and then I'll leave a poll up and people can decide what colour scheme I attempt in a 12-hour challenge. So yeah, the AgMech stuff is cool. I was really happy to see the Angels of Death teaser, the cinematic, cartoon. That looks really cool. And it's Blood Angels, and I'm a bit impartial to Blood Angels. They were my 40k army. Well, a Blood Angel successor was my 40k army back in the day. Surprise, surprise, I'll probably have them up in the poll. I used to have a couple of companies worth of Blood Drinkers. Well, I definitely won't be doing Ultra Smurfs because, if you've seen my Stormcast, they literally are Ultramarines. But yeah, it'll likely be Blood Drinkers will be up there as one of the options, no doubt. I used to have a Blood Drinkers chapter. Well, sorry, not chapter. Blood Drinkers. A couple of companies of Blood Drinkers. The reason why I had that is because my playing the Deathwatch 40k RPG, my character was a Blood Drinker, and I built out his whole company after he'd gone back from his service. And the Deathwatch. So made a whole army around that. So yeah, you can rest assured I will not have Ultramarines, because yes, I have a Stormcast army that is already Ultramarines. Yeah, I don't really care about competitive 40k. I bought the Primaris because I wanted something different to paint, so... like, I go to tournaments and stuff, but I am at heart an utterly narrative gamer. It's all about story for me. So... I'll put a poll up and people can vote for what they would like to see me attempt in a 24-hour challenge. I think it's like the starter set of Primaris, then a third unit of... What was my mate? My mate plays more 40k than me, so he was working at like a 1,000-point list that I could do. I think it was... Yeah, the starter set fleshed out to another 5-man unit of Primaris. What are they called? Intercessors? Basic troop dudes. A Dreadnought, big cool Dreadnought dude, and 3 of the easy to build, totally not Terminator things. I can't remember the names of the new Primaris. But yeah, so that'll be what I'm painting up for that. And what colours, I'll leave up to you guys. You guys can vote. Also, while I'm at it now, while we're talking like something being broken and stuff, like just reminds me of tournaments, that sort of chatter. Big shout out to all my Realmless gaming buddies and all my friends attending CanCon, especially my Realmless gaming buddies. So Mr. Doom and Darkness, Alexander Cron, all my other mates that are attending, Luke, Andrew, Ty, all of yous. Best of luck, lads. Hope you all do really well and one of yous bring home a trophy. They're probably not watching, but I give them a shout out. They're probably all asleep and waiting. Yeah. The next battle, or waiting battle at dawn, of which you can go see the coverage for CanCon on the Honest Wargamer. Oh, nice. There's some cool knights in. House Griffin, are they... Oh no, they're not the red ones, are they? One of my mates has got a cool knight army. And yeah, I guess the last AOS thing that got sort of revealed at LVO, if you watch the Zote trailer, they offhandedly mentioned the Sons of Bahamut. So who knows what that means? Oh, okay, they're not the ones I'm thinking of. My mate got the red knights, like the Tyrannus or something like that. I'm not good with 40k names. Like the generic red scheme. Yeah, I'm sad to be missing the I don't drink alcohol, but I miss. I am a little bit feeling a little bit like I'm missing out a little bit, I guess. But that's the price of having a wedding and a child so close to CanCon. Wouldn't trade either of those things for CanCon, but it would be cool to be at CanCon. On my fifth. Oh, nice. I really like that colour scheme. That's cool. I wonder who they had cooking the Barbie, because, you know, Chef Luke wasn't there to cook the Barbie, so I wonder who had to cook for a bunch of hungry people this time. So we got thrown an apron. The cool thing was, Kiwis gave me this, and like, Kiwis brought steaks last time, and I got some of their steak because I'm the one who cooked it. But yeah, Sons of Bahamut totally got mentioned on the Zote thing here. They're just a myth, so shh. I definitely think those Sons of Bahamut are coming, and that's an army I am so keen for. So I'm going to be saving some pennies over the next couple of months, waiting for those Sons of Bahamut and the Lumineth. I've got like 2 stages left to do on these goblins. I've got all the brown that I'm doing now, and then just got the yellow. And then we are done one, and then I've just got some basing, but I've got to go pick up a Grelin Earth to go do my basing. I've got this guy's boots. But yeah, quite happy with all the stuff that came out. And yeah, so almost finished these grots, and then we have a 2,000 point army complete. Then I'll probably start work on Mia's 2,000 point army, which is going to be Daughters of Cain. I might try and chip in the Beasts of Chaos first and finish them up. There'll be another 1,000 point army we can muck around with on the channel. So yeah, what are people's thoughts? What do we reckon the Light Elves are going to be? What do we reckon some like rules for the Light Elves might be, or the Luminethi? The Lumineth. We reckon some rules that might come out for them are. Yeah, I reckon they're going to get some always strikes first stuff. Yeah, well, some sort of activation wars and for the light, but just always strikes first just seems like a thing. So naturally going to come. Yeah, tons of bonuses to cast. I don't know if the army's going to get that, or if that's just going to be techless. Yeah, that's a solid shout, like an after save to represent the quickness. So yeah, I think they're all probably some valid thoughts. Yeah, well, don't forget Speed of Light is currently a like that would be a cool way to like balance it out. Is like you give always strikes first, like via a spell. And that's a cool way to actually do always strikes first because it's no longer a guarantee, and your opponent can do stuff about it. Actually, give me a sec. Let's have a look at the old Law of Light and let's see if we can think of some other spells. Give me a sec. I'm going to go try and find one of my old fantasy books. Man, don't you totally not miss when this was the size of the rulebook? Have a look. Alright, so what have we got? Law of Light. So we've got Exorcism, which is cool. It's all about like banishing undead and stuff, obviously. Shem's Burning Gaze, Fast Protection, we've already got that as a spell from the Lord. Speed of Lights, Light of Battle, Net of Amnitok, Banishment, and Bjorna's Time Warp. Oh, yeah. Imagine like Time Warp. That would be cool. Got me thinking of stuff now. I'm wondering what they're doing. But yeah, I think I think you'll be right with like some sort of always trust first, and I wouldn't be. I'd like to see it in a spell form because it's not just something that happens. Like, you know, it's going to be the need to be the spell you give to Teclis, and it takes up a spell slot of other things to Teclis. If you wanted to go off, and he's no doubt going to know every spell from the lore. Like, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Yeah. Artifacts, I don't know, like, artifacts are always hit and miss. There's always good ones, there's always go-to. I would, so this is going to be, there are two things I would like to see in the game. Or one thing in particular, really. Yeah, someone's commenting on a video somewhere. No, on something entirely irrelevant to what we're talking about now. Where's it going? So with Seraphon getting a Battle Tome, that will mean every army has access to Realm, has access to their own pool of artifacts now. There is not an army, and there will never be an army again that is not fully supported by Games Workshop and needs those artifacts. So I would like potentially one of two things to happen. Either they go away, just shoot. That's not the perfect answer, and that's not what I personally want. I play cities, and I actually really like when I play an allegiance from an army that is from a realm, I am forced to take artifacts from that realm. I would like to see more sub-factions and factions be locked to playing certain realms' artifacts because it's where they're from in the lore. So take, for instance, Idoneth and Futhan, who live in the Boiling Sea in the Realm of Fire. They can only take Realm of Fire artifacts. There's my hot take for you. You know, and death can be, most of them will just be death and use death artifacts anyway, so it doesn't really do any damage or change anything there to things that aren't really broken, like Zombie Dragon on with an Ethereal Amulet isn't that bad, really. But yeah, I would like to see that. There's a hot take. I think Yeah, or something to control it. Well, no, and so what you're saying, right? Your idea, right, Mark, would be to take the non-enclave or Stormhost variation. So if you want to have choice in like which realm you pick, you can still freely match, but you would not gain, like, so you can go Idoneth with no enclave and pick whichever realm you want and not be stuck with a realm because you're choosing a certain enclave, and that would be the choice. It's like, are these rules good enough to, and the artifacts, like, it creates a choice there. Yeah, and like also updating the list would be cool. Some of them are just useless. Some of them make in-book artifacts useless, and I think that's more the problem for me. I don't mind that, like, realm artifacts would be useless, like they're just an extra thing in the game. I don't care if some of them are never good. What I don't like is when the realm artifacts make things in books useless because there's a better version of a realm artifact. So, yeah, there's a better version of a realm artifact than like the one in every book. So that's like every artifact that ever. If you're taking artifacts from your book, and all of a sudden you want to take one that gives someone +1 rend because you've got some artifact in your book that's +1 rend. There is no reason why you would all of a sudden not go take the Rune Blade and be -3 rend. Stuff like that. It just invalidates like so many artifacts across so many books. And we had both variations of this in fantasy as well. I don't know how long you've been playing, but I'm an old school fantasy player. I played fantasy for long. Yeah, exactly, the +1 to hit and wound. What is it? Gaia Strike. It's like there are so many +1 to hit and so many +1 to wound artifacts and command traits. And they're just completely overshadowed by, well, I'm just going to go take Gaia Strike. I like everything about the realms, and I like the idea of them infecting my games. I think artifacts, spells, realmscapes, and all that are poorly implemented. I think spells should not be. You should be taking spells based on the realm you come from. Which, like, those spells can go away as well because every army is going to have access as well. Like, I don't think we need those. Like, you never needed both at the time of fantasy. So fantasy either had the time where every armor book had a weapon skill 10, a +1 toughness, a +1 strength, a ignores armor save weapon in the book, and then they decided, well, that's silly, so they removed all those generic ones out and they made the generic list of artifacts larger, and then every army book went down to 10 artifacts instead of 30 in fantasy. And like, so you never, but at the moment in AOS, and soon what we're going to get in AOS is you've got 2 lists of 30 instead of 1 list of 10 and 1 list of 20, which is going to be a problem. No, that's just bloat there. That's unnecessary amounts. There's no way that all of those are in any way even remotely relative if there are 60 artifacts. Oh god damn it. The last like ton of goblins I've not painted the boots on. Yeah. Also, everyone who is watching, don't forget to like and subscribe because we're so close to breaching 600 subscribers. It's another 100 closer to that magical 1,000 mark that we've got to hit for YouTube to care about me. And yes, at this point, we should say thank you to all the people who support us on Patreon, which you can find in the link below. Shameless self-promotion here. Should say thank you to all the patrons that support the channel. Anyways, slowly progressing through this part of the grots, just because there's lots of little tidbits to do on this stage. It's just taking a bit. Yeah. Probably. Alright. Me painting at the pot like a savage. I'm so sorry, everyone. anyone watching, let me know what you're currently working on. Be interested to see what you're all working on. Oh, nice, odd voice. So close to having these guts done. Probably a few hours more work into them, and they will be done. gonna finish up just 25 of these guys, and then we're probably gonna call it a night in a sec. It's pretty late here. I've had a night at work, and I've got a shift tomorrow as well. Last shift at the old job tomorrow. Thank God. Just can't wait to be done with the old job. New job. The same amount of hours, less days though, so it'll be like a couple of bigger shifts at the new job. I mean, to have more time for hobby, more time for family, more time to spend with you lovely people in the chat. In the citizenry of Cinderfall. That's a quarter if I'm done with the brown. That's enough for tonight. Alright, just a short one tonight, guys. Bit buggered from the day at work. Thank you all for joining me tonight, having a good chat about all the stuff at LVO. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We're so close to smashing that 600. Don't forget you can support the channel more via Patreon, like many of our fine Patreons do. Help the channel grow. And we'll start doing some stuff over there for the Patreons soon once we get the stuff up and running properly. You can find us on Facebook. You can find me at Dadhammer on Twitter. I think that's everything. Hope all the guys from Realmus Gaming have a great day at CanCon tomorrow, especially, and also hope that Andrew, my co-host on the narrative show, has a great tournament as well. I'll see you all again real soon. Don't forget, on Sunday night we're going to have our regular hobby hangout. And yeah, catch you all real soon. Ciao for now, guys.